Hello, and welcome to another Crack a Pack. Today, I've got 3 play boosters from Duskmourn for us to open up together and make a pack 1 pick 1 all the way up to a pack 1 pick 3. And then at the end of the video, I will be opening up a promo pack and then giving away the arena code inside. So make sure you stick around and let's get started. First up, we've got a ticket booth and a tunnel of hate. Glimmer burst. Seized from slumber. Say its name. Twist reality. Winter's intervention. Anthropede. Fear of imposters. Rise of the moth. Diversion specialist. The rare is Meatook Massacre 2. Oh wow. Another rare. Simone, all questioning. A foil raucous carnival. And a foil fear of immobility. And a glimmer token. So here is our first pack. And unfortunately, I don't think our Meatook Massacre is going to be at all playable in Limited. But we do have this Simone, which I am quite interested in. This card is quite good at any point in the game really, as long as you are drawing and playing lands the token this creates just gets bigger and bigger. It'll mostly cap out at 7, I think, but for essentially a free creature, this is a very good deal. And I would be very happy to first pick this and see what comes back in this pack. But yeah. So our pack 1 pick 1 will be Simone. Let's move on to our pack 1 pick 2. Don't know why I keep trying to flip these. Anyway, Rampaging Soul Rager. Resurrected Cultist. Friendly Ghost. Cackling Slasher. Cryptid Inspector. Meat Locker and Drowned Diner. Final Vengeance. Nowhere to Run. Sawblade Skin Ripper. Saw. Whoa. So we've got a special guest. Beautiful full art Damnation. And a Doomsday Excruciator. A Neglected Manor. And a foil Brood Spinner. And an art card. So here is our second pack. And before we make a pick to follow up the Simone, we first need to make this pack's pack 1 pick 1. And I think for me, I am probably looking at the 2 rares that we opened. As well as the Brood Spinner. Though I don't think I'm looking at Doomsday Excruciator particularly closely. I am maybe tempted to take this and see if we can find a way to reanimate it. But I don't know how realistic that is. And I don't think we're casting it very often for the 6 black. So probably not going to be taking this one. However, I am pretty interested in the damnation. It isn't terribly often that we get good board wipes in Limited, so I'm honestly not super sure how to evaluate this. But for just 4 mana, it's not impossible that we could cast this and then deploy another creature before our opponent can start rebuilding. The other card I pulled out was the Brood Spinner, which is a really premium uncommon, and I might be close to first picking this honestly, but I think Damnation is good enough that I would be okay with taking it. And being a special guest, I don't expect that anyone would really be playing around this or expect you to have it in your deck at all. So I think I'll go ahead and first pick the Damnation. And then for Simone's pack 1, pick 2. We've only got 2 targets in blue and green. Though I would probably be looking at the Brood Spinner here as well, and be considering black or blue as a splash. I think the Cryptid Inspector and the Meat Locker Drowned Diner are both pretty good, but in my opinion I think Brood Spinner is probably the best card left in this pack. So I'd be willing to take this and see how it pans out. And I would expect to be able to pick up either of these if we wanted a little bit later on, especially because they are commons. So I think I'll go with Brood Spinner, and if it doesn't work out, then we haven't missed out on too much by taking it. So that'll be my pack 1, pick 2. Let's move along to our third pack. Hand that feeds. Unsettling Twins. Fear of Immobility. Monstrous Emergence. Unable to Scream. Given to Violence. Clammy Prowler. Live or Die. Sheltered by Ghosts. Greenhouse and Rickety Gazebo. Coordinated Clobbering. The rare is Leyline of Transformation. a forest, and a foil overlord of the mist moors. And an art card. Wow. So we've got a mythic in every pack, which is pretty impressive. But for this pack's pack 1, pick 1, I have to imagine that we are just windmill slamming the Overlord. Ooh, very bright. Even though it costs 7, we have impending 4 for 4 mana, which is very doable. So I am pretty confident with pack 1, pick 1, going with the Overlord of the Mistmoors. No reason to look any further, truly. But for our pack 1, pick 2 to follow up the Damnation, let's take a look at what we have in black. So we've got Given to Violence and Live or Die, both of which I think are fine, though I would probably go with Live or Die. However, I don't think I would take either of these over Sheltered by Ghosts. This card does so much for only 2 mana. There honestly aren't very many things that I would take over this. I mean, obviously we took the Overlord first pick, but things of that caliber aside. But anyway, let's make our final pick of the day to go with Simone and Broodspinner. So aside from the black cards that we've already looked at, we've got quite a few things in green and blue. So the greenhouse could certainly help us with mana fixing, though it isn't a terribly exciting way to spend 3 mana, and doesn't really do anything for us. I am decently interested in both the Unable to Scream and Coordinated Clobbering as a pair of 1 mana spells. The Clammy Prowler is pretty whatever to me, and I don't think the Leyline is a consideration at all. I am also looking at the Monstrous Emergence, I suppose. I don't love that Coordinated Clobbering taps your creatures. So for 2 mana, maybe Monstrous Emergence is the better option. In order to do more damage, we might have to reveal a creature, which is kind of a downside, but that's really not too bad. Unable to Scream doesn't really require anything of us and only costs 1 mana, though it doesn't fully remove a creature, and as an enchantment it could be subject to removal itself. And as it is now, green is more of our primary color over blue or black, So, leaning into that and expecting that we would have the most green resources, then I think Monstrous Emergence is going to pull ahead for me. And then, even if we end up cutting one of these cards, then we're still likely to have green in our deck. So I'll go ahead and take Monstrous Emergence here then. And there we have it. Let me know what you think of these picks down in the comments. And of course, tell me which cards you would have taken from each of these packs so we can talk about it. But before we close out, let's open up our promo pack. We've got a Nashi, Searcher in the Dark, Drag to the Roots, and Kitsa, Otterball Elite from Bloomborough. And here's the arena code. That'll do it. Thank you so much for joining me today as we opened up some play boosters and made a few draft picks. If you enjoyed this video, I would absolutely love it if you would give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll be back with new Magic the Gathering ASMR videos every Monday and Friday. Thank you so much for all of your support, and I hope you have a wonderful day.